Welcome to the Foundry, where leaders are forged daily. I'm your host, George Roberts. Welcome back, entrepreneurs. Today we have Dr. Hank, a PhD in mental science, author of 15 books, motivational speaker, and founder of Dr. Hank Incorporated. Welcome, Dr. Hank.
Well, thank you, George, and a pleasure to be here. And I think your audience is really going to enjoy today. And we're going to uplift and inspire them to realize they can be, do, and have anything that they desire.
Wonderful. And I've been really looking forward to this interview. Dr. Hank, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure, you bet that. So first of all, what is mental science? Most people say, what's a mental scientist? And I have my PhD in mental science from the University of Wisconsin in Madison. And basically what that is how people think and to improve the way that we think. And so we basically have 60,000 thoughts every day, each one of us. Out of those amazing number of thoughts, 80% of those thoughts are typically negative, or what I call unwanted thoughts. But the real kicker is 95% of our thoughts actually are the same thoughts we had yesterday, which means that our thoughts that we have today, if they're the same, we get the same tomorrow. So I help people to improve their thinking and expand their imagination to be able to have the answers, the solutions for the things they desire.
That's awesome. And tell us about how you got your start in real estate.
Yeah, you bet. About 20 years ago that I had my own management consulting company and was consulting Fortune 100 companies around the world, because I literally have a process, a time-proven process that can guarantee measurable results. So I would not only work with those top corporations, but I'd also work with their top clients. And I would help them to, again, improve their thinking process, expand their imagination, and be able to seek answers and solutions at that vibration, if you will, versus like Einstein said, you can't solve the problem at the energy level at the point where the problem is, and you have to be what I call turn the other cheek and look for the answers and these solutions. And then I had an opportunity to buy a mortgage company. And so I did. And I actually, to buy it, I needed to get my mortgage license. So I got my mortgage license, bought this mortgage company, and we were affiliated, the mortgage company, with the real estate company. And I really started to enjoy the real estate agents and working with them. And then we also had some investors. And so that got me exposed to real estate. And I realized that, wow, I could help them be, do, and have more as well. So then I had an interest in real estate, and then I bought into a real estate company, and we had about 100 agents at the time, and I grew it to 420 agents, and that was really fun. The challenge that I had in that is the agents would come to me and say, or investors would come to me and say, oh, I want you to increase my commissions. And so I would increase their commissions, but what I found is most people blew the money. And so I needed to find a way to actually not only build people's business, but build their wealth. And so that's really the key. As we are entrepreneurs, as we want to increase our portfolio, that is really about how do we increase that wealth. And then kind of the king of them all is passive income. And how can we get passive income from our investments in our portfolios to last a lifetime?
And so then I believe that led later on to multifamily investments. Tell us about your multifamily investments.
You bet. Yeah. So then I started getting involved in investing. We had some opportunities. Initially, we were just flipping homes and, updating the homes and selling them. And so that was very profitable. And I had an opportunity to meet one of the largest investors in multifamily. And so that I'm very involved with now. Typically, it's 80 doors or more. And really, anybody could get involved in it. You don't have to necessarily have even money in investment to put into it, but some type of expertise to get involved and that desire to be involved that you can get involved. So right now I have 7 where I am a part investor on this, and we're doing a little under $1 billion worth of commercial, if you will, multifamily, 80 doors or more, and 2 of those deals are about 600 million, so they are taking up the bulk of it, and then we have other that are under 100 million that we're involved with. But I've helped investors, like I have a relatively small investor in Chicago where they're involved in multifamily and we're kind of stuck, if you will. And so I actually coached with her and helped her to find, again, it's this focus about answers and solutions, George, that will help all of us and benefit us when we're looking more in that direction. What most of us have we've been taught this, is that we're supposed to face reality. And so we're supposed to look at what's going on right now, and we're supposed to figure it out ourselves. And really all we need to do is do this asking, and to ask for, hey, I want to increase my portfolio. I want to, and as you start asking these questions, that you'll all of a sudden start attracting different people, circumstances, events, and thoughts that will lead you to what you want. The issue with facing reality is that it's really old news. And here's what I mean by that. All of science has agreed that thoughts become things. And in the last 5 years, and this is quantum physicists, microbiologists, all the different disciplines of science have agreed that to create our experience, that there's 3 steps. And the first step is our all-powerful thought. And that thought, according to scientists, creates energy, and that, which is our emotions. And that emotions then, that energy creates matter, M-A-T-T-E-R. And this is why thoughts become things. And so when we realize that if you just look at what's happening right now and get upset over whatever, pandemic, deal goes south, an argument, whatever it is, that it's really old news, because it's previous thoughts that we have that have created our experience right now. So for us to be able to think more about the solutions and what will be and what we desire in the future. So instead of, and I'm famous for one of these quotes, is I don't face reality, I create reality. And all of us have the power to be able to do that, George.
I love that. That is very inspirational. And when we're talking about that sort of inspiration, tell us about some of the ways that people can interact with you. So you've got Dr. Hank Incorporated, you've got these 15 books. What would you like to highlight?
Yeah.
First from the books.
Okay, from the books, that if you go to Amazon, you can go to Hank, just type in Hank, H-A-N-K, and then my last name is Seitz, and that's S as in Sam, E-I-T-Z. And some of the books that I would recommend that would be helpful for multifamily, for you to be able to expand your portfolio, if that's what you're looking for, to be more successful, have more profitable projects, etc. The first one is Your Royal Path to Riches. And this book really helps you to tap into the kingdom within, because really our life is an inside job. that what we see out here is because of what we have in our beliefs and within our subconscious mind, if you will, or the kingdom within. And so it's all about managing the inside that will then create the outside for you. Another fun one that I think your listeners would enjoy is it's a fairly thick book, but it's 13 Easy Steps to More Money. And it literally is 13 steps that have helped me become independently wealthy, that I have helped hundreds of people become independently wealthy. And then the third one is really a fun one that it's called Think, Feel, and Grow Rich. And so many of you may say, oh, that kind of sounds like Napoleon Hill, or just recently they came out with a movie, Think and Grow Rich. Well, I actually was able to get the original manuscript from Napoleon Hill, and I found out that the editors had edited out the word vibration 30, I think it was 37 times in the book. So I decided to have this Think, Feel, and Grow Rich because of this feeling. When we feel as though we have increased our portfolio, if we've found great deals on multifamily, when we can feel that and feel as though it's ours now, we literally will open up our eyes and it will be. And it's almost like magic, if you will, on the power that we have with our thoughts to create the things that we have. And then the last one that I just love doing too is The Happiest Man in the World. And so this book is really a fun one. It talks about how I was living my life. My publisher came to me and said, you know what, you need to write a story about your life. And so it talks about my ups and downs in life. And then it talks about how I was able to, instead of going up and down, I was able to rise above all that and simply be a witness to life and to more focus on the things that I want and I desire and what will be and my bright future. And that has helped me to really live a blissful life and become the happiest man in the world.
Nice. And then, so outside of science, is there any sort of philosophy that you subscribe to?
Well, yeah, so many people are concerned with other people's honoring the God of other people's opinion, okay, and that we each need to realize that we have, let's call it, a higher power within us that can guide us. And what's just amazing is that we are actually led and to be on our lighted path to multifamily, to more wealth, happiness, joy, love, peace, all the things that we desire, if we'll start paying attention more to our feelings. And so the philosophy that I guide my life on and help people to guide is that we actually have our own inner guidance system. And an easy way to describe that is our good feelings mean we are thinking about this the appropriate way, the divine way, if you will. When we feel bad, it means we're off track. We're not on our lighted path. We're not on that golden brick road, if you will. And so it's all these all-powerful feelings. And once you get guided by that literally the feelings will guide your thoughts. And so as you feel good, you'll be guided to having more good feeling thoughts, more answers and solutions to everything that you desire, George.
So any interest in Stoicism? I know a lot of people who focus on not letting thoughts or emotions become negative in our life really like that form of philosophy. So what about you?
Yeah. So I actually have some techniques, and I'd be happy to provide to your listeners. If you contact me, and you can just, if you want to, you can text me at 214-753-7204. And what I'll do is I'll give you a process called the Joy Shop that actually will improve your thinking process and will help you to take those 80% negative and what I call unwanted thoughts and to start moving that And as you move that literally your life will start changing in amazing and miraculous ways. And literally within days, you will have that. So it's a way, again, called the Joy Shot. Takes about 15 minutes to do every day, and all the details and everything I'll be able to share with you, once if you connect with me, that I'd be happy to share that. And that is one of the things that I do in my happiness and success coaching, is to really help people to improve their thinking and to focus more. Whatever we focus our attention on grows, and to focus more about what we desire, what we like, what we want, and what we love.
That's beautiful. And I love the focus on emotions, because I think a lot of people in their quest for success, they beat themselves up. They're hard on themselves. We're all our hardest critic. And I think what you're telling us is that if we're on the right path, it should feel right.
Exactly. It'll feel good. It'll feel good. And again, don't see, we can't, and a lot of people say like, oh, well, that's selfish. Well, first of all, we can't think or feel for anybody else. And by the way, they're going to be changing all the time. We're all changing all the time. So whatever they were thinking or feeling before. So again, this is why there's God of other people's opinion, that you don't do. What you do is you use the opinion of your higher power. And again, the easy way to look at that is on how I'm feeling. And it will literally take you to everything that you want. And typically in a different path than you had tried to figure it out, if you will, with your smaller self, with your analytical mind. Our analytical mind is really only supposed to be used. It's not supposed to be used to figure out the how. Let that to your higher power. It's instead to figure out what you desire. So to think about what you want, and then why you want it. And as you start thinking, so I want to increase my multifamily, my portfolio, and I want to have some amazing deals and to be able to grow that, become independently wealthy. And then you say, so that's what I want. Then you say, why do I want that? And really, this is, if you'll just do this and focus on this, you will have everything that you wanted. And then to think about why. Why? Well, gee, I just love that it's exciting, that I love money. Money is just freedom. Money equals freedom. And again, people are so confused over money, and that, the root of all evil and everything. It's just not true. It's a misunderstanding. The Bible was saying that all things come from God, that quote in the Bible about the root of all evil is love of money. And just to kind of get into a little of that back in Christ's time, when that was all stated, that one of the ways to show your wealth and to have wealth is to have sheep. And so certainly sheep is in the root of all evil. and so it's, again, this mindset on helping us to really start focusing on the things that we desire.
Nice. So then, why don't you take us right back to the beginning of when you formed Dr. Hank Incorporated? What sort of mindset shifts did you have to go through to see yourself as a motivational speaker, etc.?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I thank you for that. And it really was. I was an executive with Procter and Gamble, and we were going through. We had just the best training. They're known, internationally for their training and their development. And so I was with 12 people that were managing P&G around the world, and we had this lady come in, and again, they were the top people in the industry about all kinds of things, from diversity to total quality and Deming. We actually had Deming, with us to be able to do this. And so this one lady, she was talking about expanding your imagination, etc. And then she put on Canon in D and D minor, and so this beautiful, relaxing music. And she started taking us into a meditation. And I'm kind of initially thinking like, what's this doing? We got to do, because we've all been told we got to do stuff, and so it's this do. And that's why most people wake up one day and they go, I got do in my life, because I've been doing.
Yeah.
And so, and it's this great quote about the meek inherit the earth. And I never really understood that. And what the meek is for us to relax, for us to get connected, breathe deeply, and to quiet our mind. And so that's in essence what meditation is. And so this first meditation at a Procter & Gamble corporate America, if you will, meeting, and in that meditation, I realized that I was called where my passion was to help people. And this is the first time these words ever came to me, to help people become their greatest possibility. And it all would start with me. So it was helping me and others become our greatest possibility. And that's what put me on the road to start my own management company. My first client actually was Procter & Gamble, and I made more money not employed with them than when I was employed with them. And then they gave me referrals and all these other, companies, and it just went. And so because I was doing my passion, and so I help people, one of the things I help people do is to understand, what is your passion? What do you want to do? Because we have these blinders on because of our beliefs on, oh, I can't do that, or that won't make money, or whatever. If you do what you love doing, and so I'll give you an example. I had this one investor who just kind of was sick and tired of the investing, and wasn't doing too good on it, and whatever, and but had accumulated quite considerable wealth. And I said, well, just tell me, what do you really like? And she said, well, what I love is I love to paint. I'd love to be a painter. I've never painted, don't know anything about it, but I'd love to be a painter. And it took a while to get that out of her because, it was first, oh, I love, whatever, my dog or whatever, and which that might be a passion too. But in this case, it really was that she wanted to become a painter. And then the other thing, she loved yoga. Well, what she did is she started to have a little yoga class in her house. She started to paint, did a Facebook page, and again, I helped her with kind of the marketing of her passion, and her business blew up. Within a couple of minutes, she had more investments and everything because she was meeting these people in the painting, and she was, painting, and then in the yoga, and meeting these people that were investors or had investments for her. And so she was doing her passion, and at the same time, her business just flowed easily and quickly and dynamically to her. And all of us can do that if we'll just let go and stop trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I love it. So she just sort of found herself, and then everything came from that. I love it.
Yeah. And I have all kinds of examples I could give you on that are just amazing and inspiring that people are doing. Like one guy loved dogs, and said, okay, let's start, building that. Built his business around loving dogs, and got referrals from veterinarians, and then dog lovers, and blew up his business. And it was all because he loved his dog. He was a real estate agent, and he actually had bought, because he was so successful, bought this real fancy truck where the dogs could actually go in the back, and then there was a back cab for the people to sit in, and the dogs would go sniff out the yard and everything on the places they were looking for. And so it just was like his passion was dogs. And so literally anything that you really love, you start doing it, and all the business will come to you.
Beautiful. And so now you mentioned a lot of the influences in your life. So I see, among others, we got Napoleon Hill, the Bible. So what other books or influences forged you as a leader and motivational speaker?
Yeah, and so I'm going to, and you're right, those, the Bible was definitely, I'm actually an ordained minister. I wanted to figure out this God stuff, and which was very helpful for me to do. Napoleon Hill, and I really was into, Anthony Robbins, and I actually met with him and talked with him, and he was famous, but it was 25 years ago or whatever at the time, and so they were all positive influences. And for sure, the old the saying about your top 5 people you hang around with, that's what you become. And that's a critical one that, you, what I call top grading, that, you, any at the bottom, that, hey, if you're not feeling good about those people, let them go, no matter how important you think they are, whatever, let them go and start asking for, hey, I want to really be around, influential people. But I, George, have gone beyond on other people, sharing that information, and I go directly to the source. And so some people may, you might kind of wake up a little, and what does that mean? And that, but there is divine intelligence, infinite intelligence that all of us can tap into. And it's about this deep breathing. It's about meditating, about quieting your mind. And literally, I download divine things. I have a Facebook page, in fact, a group page called Angel Connections. And it's where this divine energy, loving energy that comes into me through thoughts. And I share what my quote unquote angels say. And again, it's this divine energy that is available to all of us to tap into. And so that is where I get my counsel now. And I do have different coaches, though. In fact, I have a coach in Australia, and I have different coaches on different things, depending on kind of, where I am. And so it's not that I don't rely on coaches, because everybody who's successful has a coach. And but my main source of getting my information, my knowledge, my inspiration, if you will, is from all that is. And call that God, the universe, angels, whatever name you're comfortable with, that we can all tap into that and get it directly from the source.
I love that. So could you set us out with an inspiring story from your consulting through Hank Incorporated?
Sure. And there's so many that, and I'll start with me. 6 years ago, I was involved in a major car accident, and it totaled my car and it totaled my body. I'm a Vietnam veteran, and the VA proclaimed me permanently homebound and permanently disabled. I was immobile, numb, if you will, from my waist down. And they basically said, no operation is going to, help it per se, that this is how you're going to be. And I just decided, you know what? I'm going to use my Dr. Hank stuff on me. And so I started, so instead of focusing on what the doctors were saying, I decided to focus again on my higher power, on God, on all that is. And so I just started to visualize on me walking and, having a normal life, if you will, and physically really healthy. And so I would just breathe deeply, visualize me walking my health. And one day I felt a little movement, a little energy in my right small toe. And so what I did, remember, whatever we focus on grows. So I just focused on that. And through deep breathing, again, quieting my mind and just having that energy, and that energy, breath by breath, day by day, started to move up my right leg, across my waist, down my left leg. And so I went from unable to walk to I just stood. And so it's a miracle, and people call me a walking miracle, but we all are walking miracles. We all have the power to be, do, and have what we want. And so I've helped people. A fun little story is I helped a billionaire, and he asked not to be mentioned his name, but this billionaire, he called me and he goes, Dr. Hank, I know that you can, help build my business even more, but I'm not interested in that at all. And I'm interested in becoming a better golfer. And I said, a better golfer, my God. And I said, okay, well, tell me, when you walk up to the tee, that what are you thinking? And he goes, oh, everything my instructors told me, how my feet are, this wide, how my arm is straight, and my swing, and, keep my head down, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, no wonder why you're not a very good golfer. And he goes, what do you mean? I've spent thousands of dollars on this coach, done all that. And I said, no, what you should be doing if you want to be a better golfer is, so in a par 3, that in golf, that it's possible to hit the ball and it actually go on the green. And so I started to help him on to start visualizing, and really any and everybody, CEOs, big organizations, successful entrepreneurs, multifamily, portfolio successful people, sports people, that they all visualize that end in sight. They see and they can feel on where they are. So he started to visualize on hitting that ball and seeing that ball roll on the green and in the hole. And about 3 weeks later, he calls and he goes, Dr. you wouldn't believe it. And I said, well, probably what? And he goes, man, for the first time ever, he got a hole in one. And so this can help with health. This can help on businesses that, I have a person, an entrepreneur that just did not, was a failing entrepreneur, not successful at all. And so we talked a little, and they did like real estate. And so I showed them a way to easily become a real estate agent and to build their wealth and to have stock and to have passive income. And they said, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And so for about $500 total investment all in to get their real estate license, you can actually get a real estate license in as fast as 10 days. But I help this entrepreneur to right now, and this is 3 years later, that they have about $3.5 million worth of stock. They have revenue share, passive income that comes in every month of at least $30,000, and their business, they're making about $300,000 every year on commissions as a real estate agent. And so, literally we can do it. It's all about this feeling. And so those are just a few of the stories on how between me and other people that you can increase your health, you can increase relationships. Here's a fun one that, and again, a personal story on mine, that my wife Sharon, the first time she was going to introduce me to her parents, and her dad's name is Sledge, like sledgehammer, a little scary, okay? And when we're driving there, she's telling me about how he's not going to be nice to me. He's not going to call me by my first name. We're going to be in there for maybe 10 minutes and leave, etc. Well, I realized that Sharon, through the years of experiences with her dad and boyfriends and husbands and whatever, that she experienced how Sledge was with these people. And so I knew I couldn't talk her out of her beliefs, but I knew I could talk myself into the beliefs that I wanted. So when she would say, and I would say to myself, when she would say, oh, he's not going to talk to you, I said, oh, he's going to talk to me. That he's not going to, call you by name. He's going to call me by my name. He's going to look at me. So just the complete opposite. And I am so fired up to meet Sledge now that I become irresistible. And this is one of the beliefs, by the way, that, see, we've been told, oh, you can't change other people. Everybody is alpha to the omega, and depending on who you are, you can make them alpha, angelic, or not, if you will. And so I walked into the place, and Sledge is going, hey, how are you? And I go, hey, I'm great, and he kind of reaches his hand out, to shake my hand. And within 2 minutes, he started, hey, I got this, that. Next thing you know, he's got his arm around me, showing me in his office to his guns. And I'm like, oh shit, I hope he doesn't shoot me. And his guns, and he walks out, and man, we're having a great time. We were there for 2 hours, okay? Everything the opposite of what Sharon told me we were experiencing. So the hoot of this is, we get in the car, and Sharon goes, God, I'm really concerned about my dad. And I go, what? What's wrong? And she goes, well, I think sick, really sick. And I go, why? She goes, well, he was just too nice to you. So we have these beliefs that we're not even aware of, like, oh, you can't change people. You can change people. So you can improve a relationship. You can attract your soul partner, best friend, best lover. You can build a multi-million-dollar business. You can increase your multifamily. You just need to decide. And once you decide and feel good about that and start feeling as though it's done, it will be done onto you as you believe. And so I can actually, and so I'm going to give would you like to talk about the subconscious mind?
Let's do it.
Well, this is really fascinating. And when I got into this, and I realized, so we have been told, and it's true, it is done onto you as you believe. Well, here's where our beliefs are. And we have our conscious mind. And the conscious mind is the boss. It's the one that says, hey, I want this, want to do that, et cetera. And our subconscious mind, though, makes it all happen for us. So our subconscious mind has remembered since conception every thought that you've had, every feeling that you've had, and every experience that you've had, and has remembered this and has an opinion about every subject under the sun based on those experiences, thoughts, and feelings that you had. So those opinions that is within your subconscious mind that makes it all happen, that those opinions are what we call beliefs. So most people, I'm also a behavioral psychologist, so most of my peers, if you will put you on the couch and say, let's dig this up and figure out what's wrong. Well, remember, whatever you focus your attention on grows. So if I focused on what's wrong, I'm just going to keep on digging that thing. And so my peers, put these people on a couch for years, every week and talking about all this and trying to dig up. I have a much faster way. And in fact, I'm going to bless all of you with, if you'd like to have more money, I'm going to share with you one of my magical sentences that will literally give you more money. And that's what I do when I coach one-on-one. I do personal magical sentences to kind of get around, if you will, the subconscious mind and to improve your beliefs. So that most people have been taught, like, oh, affirmations work. So if you say, I am wealthy, okay, you have to have agreement. So actually in the Bible that it says that when two of you are together and you come to agreement, it shall be manifested on earth. Well, who are the two? It's not two people, like I always thought it was two people. It's our conscious mind and our subconscious mind have to come into agreement. So if I say I am wealthy, well, think how many times, and each one of us, let's be honest with each other, how many times have you thought, like, I don't have enough money, okay? Or there isn't enough money, or gee, I'm broke, or why can't I be a millionaire, implying I'm not a millionaire, okay? So you have put in the root of all evil, is money, and the filthy rich, and money doesn't grow on trees. I lived in Florida. There's billions of dollars of money on trees, grapefruit trees, orange trees, but we've been given all this stuff, and like those filthy rich, and like, oh hell, I don't want to be rich. So when you start saying I am wealthy, the subconscious mind goes, bullshit. my belief, you've told me so many times about how money's all good, you don't have enough of it, blah blah blah. And so what you do is you could say that for the rest of all eternity and you'll never be wealthy. So I'm going to give you a magical sentence that will literally go into your subconscious mind and will increase your income. So does everybody want to do that?
Let's do it.
Okay, so here it is. And so you got to write this down, and then I'll give you instructions on how to make it work, but and play out for you. So it is, I easily accept, ACCEPT, I easily accept new prosperity thoughts. Okay, so I easily accept new prosperity thoughts, and I am prepared to increase my income now. So let's dissect that. I easily accept new prosperity thoughts. Your subconscious mind says, no problem. I'm open to that. There's no belief that I don't have that starting now that I'm open to accept. I easily accept new prosperity thoughts, and you'll start getting new prosperity thoughts. And all of a sudden this idea about, hey, I think I'm gonna call Joe, or, hey, I think I'm gonna, research this over there, that. And when you're feeling good about it, these are divine thoughts giving you the answers and solutions. Imagine your angels giving you answers and solutions for this. And then the second part, so I easily accept new prosperity thoughts, and I am prepared to increase my income. And so that part of it is that I am prepared to increase my income. Your subconscious mind, again, doesn't have any beliefs that are against that, if you will, and where you are butting heads. And so it says, hey, yeah. And notice I use the word income too. If you use money, there's so much negative stuff most of us have around money, and it's bad, filthy red, blah blah blah, and it's all kind of buried into that subconscious mind. The good news is see, what this is doing is this is going into your subconscious mind, but is at the top of your subconscious mind. Why? Because you just have said this, that it's on the top of the focus, and then the last word is all important, and it's now. So if you say, hey, I'm going to be wealthy, subconscious mind says, no problem. Someday you will, but not today. We're not going to get started because I'm going to be, or I try is just the worst word in the world, that, just don't even say it, because what it does is gives an excuse. The subconscious mind says, well, try. Well, you could try, but you're not going to get anything, So this idea about the all powerful now. Remember that it's our thinking right now that is creating our life in the future. And so what are you thinking of? Now, to make this play out for you, that each morning, and do this just for a couple mornings, you're going to see a difference, some magic happen, but you need to be open to it. It's one step at a time. Don't, if you're expecting to win, $180 million in the lottery doing this, probably you can't make that quantum leap. Okay, you maybe haven't even been able to accumulate $1 million, much less 180. Okay, so keep it open. Don't put these expectations on that. That hey, more money. It's more income. So that's why I don't use the word money. So I say more income now, and you will find, whether it's a quarter on the sidewalk, whether all of a sudden you get a little inheritance, you get a check back for some refund, that you get a big, huge deal, you got a big multi-family opportunity. It's all there waiting for you. It's all a matter of us being open to that. So if you will, every morning, write that sentence 21 times, and there's some magic in that 21. And so it's 3 times 7, if you will, and there's just magic in that 21. You write that 21 times every day, and I guarantee you, will increase your income. And just be open to it, and just expect, in church people say, oh, I have faith in God or whatever. This is faith in God, in your higher power, if you will. This is it. This is because when you allow the Father to do the work, and you just ask, and then allow the Father to do the work, and then you receive, and it shall be given unto you.
That was beautiful, Dr. Hank. I was going to ask you for a send out quote, but I feel like there was a little resonance there. And all the things I learned in this interview, if I knew what you could do for golf games, I might have asked you early in the interview what I can do for my golf game, but I'm going to go review that as I step up to the tee.
Yeah,
I want to thank you for a beautiful and inspiring interview. I certainly feel in a different headspace at the end of this. I just want to make sure that our listeners know how to contact you. So you've given us, there's drhankseitz.com. That's SEITZ.com. You've given us your Facebook group, Angel Connections. If we want to do the Joy Shop exercise, you told us we can text you, and that's 214
877-753-7204. And that's my cell. Call me, text me. If I can help you in any way, to whether you want to improve your multifamily and that, and like if you're concerned about, oh, how much does it cost? Really don't call. That we have to have this energy exchange, and then, hey, I'll have a call with you and I'll give you the joy shop, whatever. But there needs to be this energy exchange. And so when you're looking for a deal, you basically get what you pay for. And so I want to make it very clear that it's important to respect yourself, and you deserve, don't discount anything of yours, and to be able to ask. And you have to ask. It's okay. And here's a good last quote for all of us. It's okay to ask for what we want. And that's very important. It's okay to ask for what we want. And it can be whatever it is. Don't judge it. That if you want it, it's okay to ask for what I want. And then the second part of that, which is very important too, it's okay to have what I want. And so I want us all to stand tall and stand in our own right. We don't need any other person. We don't need anything. We need us and our higher power to be able to go and guide us. And when we thrive, everyone around us will thrive.
That is beautiful. And then if people want to contact you about multifamily, what is the best way to do that?
Yeah, I think you could email me. You can use the cell or drhank@drhank.biz, B-I-Z. So just send me an email, send me a text, whatever. I'm here to help. And if you want to be, do, and have more, I can help them all, George.
All right. Absolutely amazing. I know I'm certainly going to be reaching out to you. I hope my listeners do it as well. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, George. Appreciate it. And to all of you, know that you do have the power to have it the way that you want it. And the most important thing to do is to ask to feel good right now.